Hello friends. So in today's session we are going to concentrate on the next type of system model. Those are called as structural models. Okay. See friends, the name itself indicates structural. So structural, as the name itself indicates, it is going to describe the structure. Okay. So this is going to represent the structure. Okay. So it will represent the system design, system architecture, and the relationship between all the system components. Okay, so it is used to show the relationship between the different components, okay, or the different objects of different classes. So structural models can be drawn using UML diagrams, and they are also drawn using object oriented designing. So basically we use class diagram in structural model. So using class diagram you can show the relationship between the objects of the classes. Okay. So I have told you one example of case study, that is hospital management system. Please go through that. In that more detailing is given about some different types of UML diagrams. Okay. And I had also explained the class diagram for hospital management system. So in these two paragraphs, we mainly focus on the structural models are used for system designing. It will show us the entire software, and the designing is carried out using UML diagrams and object oriented designing, that is a class diagram. Okay. So now let us focus on what is a class diagram. So already I had told you this so many times in some other videos, but I will quickly explain you. So the class diagrams are used to show the relationship between the different classes. So here class may refer to a module, okay, or it may also refer to an actor, state, or different components of your project. So class diagrams are used to indicate the classes, and it will also indicate what are the attributes in that class. It will also indicate what are the operations or methods that exist in a class. So basically class diagrams are used to show the relationship between the different classes. Okay, so this relationship can be carried out with the help of instances of this class. So instances are nothing but the objects. So class diagram helps us to get a conceptual view, specificational view, and implementation view of every software, right? So now when to use the class diagram? So we can use this class diagram uh, when we want to show an object oriented approach, and basically when we want to show the relationship between the different classes and different objects of the class. Okay, so now the next question is how to draw these class diagrams, guys. Okay, so class diagrams are one part of object oriented design and UML diagrams, which will show us the conceptual, specificational, and implementational view. Okay, and using class diagram we can get to know how the objects of these classes are going to interact. Okay, yeah. So the structure of the class diagram is, you have to draw this structure. So here you can see that in this structure we are using a box. In this box, basically you can take it as a rectangle and divide it into three different areas. So first area is minimum 15 to 20%, where you take customer name, that is nothing but the class name. Second box, that is second part of that box, is given to the attributes, which are the data members of customer class. Okay, and third area is given to the operations or the methods of the customer class. So in this way you have to draw the class diagram. So this is the class diagram of only one class. So similarly, when we want to draw a class diagram for entire software, you need to take all the other classes also. Okay, so the next feature that you need to understand here is association. Okay, so association is nothing but what? That is a factor which will show you the relationship. Okay, so here it is described in more detail. So they may ask you association for 2 marks. So at that moment, okay, you need to write the definition. It shows the ability of how many objects are involved in the association. So association diagram is all about showing how many times the objects are interacting with each other. So how many times the objects of each class are involved in communication, okay, with other class. So this can be shown in the form of ratio, which is 1 is to 1. It can be 1 is to n. It can be n is to 1, m is to n, 1 is to star, and so another ratio. So in DBMS this is also called as cardinality. So cardinality is nothing but what? How many times the objects of classes are going to participate in the relationship. So here we have two class, one is patient and second is the patient record. So here the patient can have only one record and one record belongs to only one patient. So the cardinality or the association between patient and patient record is 1 is to 1. So this is nothing but the association which you have to explain as a second point when we are talking about the class diagram. So next thing which comes is, guys, this is an example, very important example for mental health care patient management system. So here you can see that patient is one class, hospital doctor is one class, consultant is one class, okay, and you can see here consultation. So consultation here is one more class, okay. Then you can see here basically every patient, okay, needs to consult a doctor. So that doctor may be a specialized doctor or a doctor which is available in the hospital. So every patient has certain condition, every patient is diagnosed with some condition, and after that the patient, okay, may refer a consultant, that is a special doctor, or he need to attend the consultation, okay, or he can go to the hospital doctor, he can take a treatment from hospital doctor, okay. So after examining or diagnosing with this condition, a patient is referred by a specific consultant. So that consultant is a special doctor or it may be a doctor who is available in the hospital. So both of these, that is consultant and hospital doctors, are nothing but derived from doctor class. Okay, both of these are derived from doctor class, right? So once the patient is referred to the consultant or the hospital doctor after consultation, they are prescribed with the medicine, they are prescribed with the treatment, or they may be prescribed with any of the operations, right? So this is the association diagram which will show the relationship between various classes and various objects of different class. So this diagram you can prefer to write in the examination. See, this is nothing but the cardinality, okay. So please refer to this diagram when they ask you to explain the associativity diagram, or if they ask you explanation of structural system models, okay, they may ask you structural system models for 5 to 10 marks. So then you need to explain about associativity, and then you also need to explain about generalization. Now the last factor which we have to see is generalization. So here you can see that there is a doctor class, okay. We have doctor class, and these two classes are derived from doctor, that is hospital doctor and general practitioner, okay. Again hospital doctor is derived into two classes, that is consultant and team doctor. Team doctor again has two subclasses, that is this becomes a base class for these two, that is a trainee doctor and qualified doctor. So generalization is all about inheritance. When we want to show inheritance in object oriented design or class diagram, okay, you can show this diagram for generalization factor. So generalization is nothing but it will tell you about the factor of inheritance, okay. So what happens when you inherit this doctor class? The features of doctor class are acquired by hospital doctor and general practitioner along with their own features. Similarly, when the hospital doctor class is derived by consultant and team doctor, they will have the features of doctor and hospital doctor also. Similarly, when you want to derive a team doctor, the features of hospital doctor and doctor are also available in trainee doctor and qualified doctor, and by creating the objects of respective classes, you can access any of the class by setting the possible visibility labels as per your requirements, okay. So this is all about generalization. In exam, when you want to write about generalization, you can go through this diagram and explain all the features, right? As I have told you, these points are listed below, okay. So what explanation just now I gave, that is in the diagram below. Alright. See, this diagram is in more detail, showing that this is a doctor class having these attributes and these operations or methods. There is a hospital class which is derived from doctor class, which will have staff ID and pager ID. Okay, so it will also have these details: name, phone number, and email. Right? But he is a hospital doctor. Similarly, general practitioner, practice and address, and along with that he will have name, phone and email, all these details, right? So in this way guys, the generalization is usually displayed in the diagram. So whenever we want to show generalization, you can show the concepts of inheritance, right? So you can take any example. That is an example which I gave for your simple hospital management. You can take example of ATM, you can take example of library management system, you can take example of student registration and practice the diagrams, because in examination any one of the diagram is expected there, right? So the last factor which has to be learned in the structural behavior is an aggregation model. Okay, so it shows the collection or the how classes that are composed of other classes. It means it will show the relationship or aggregation, right? Yeah. So how many models or how many times the class is going to interact with other class, right? So these are similar to part of relationship models, right? So you know entity relationship model which comes in the database management system. So here aggregation models are just drawn like that. Okay. So one thing is that aggregation will show cardinality. Yeah. Along with that, this box we can include which will show the relationship. Okay. So patient can have one patient record. One patient record is dedicated to individual patient. It means suppose there is a patient number 123. His all details are available under his own ID. Okay. Those details cannot be shared by any another patient. Suppose the patient record is available for 123, it means that that record belongs to patient number 123. It cannot belong to any another patient. So that is why you can see that the aggregation between patient record and patient class is 1:1. Alright, see here now. The second ratio which is shown here, or aggregation which is shown here, is between patient record and consultation. Okay, so after consultation, right, the patient details are maintained in the patient record. So patient record detail may have records of patient who is having consultation from n number of doctors. Okay, it means the ratio here taken is sometime 1:, okay, or 1:1 also. So what it means, one patient record is recorded for a patient who is getting consultation, and there can be n number of consultation records also for that particular patient, right? So in this way guys, you can write down the aggregation model. So quickly I will tell you what you need to cover for writing. Okay, so, when they ask you an examination for structural model, so the points that you need to cover for structural model is explanation. Okay, so you can tell what are the features, okay, of structural model. Then talk about UML and object oriented design. Talk about the class diagrams. Okay, so in class diagram you have to explain about the structure, okay, of the class diagram, and along with that you have to write down an example for that class diagram. So after going to this, you need to go for something which is very important called as association. Okay, so then again you have to explain association with structure and example. Go for generalization. Along with that you have to explain the structure and example. Last factor is you need to go for aggregation. Along with that you need to explain uh, for example, as well as you need to explain what is the definition. So these are the basic terms which you need to explain when a structural, okay, when a structural model is asked to you, or you can also take it as when a class diagram is asked to you. So we may expect a 5 to 10 marks questions in the examination because it is very important. Okay, all right. So please go through this video, and you can also revise the video of hospital management case study. You can revise the video of interaction diagrams and all others. Okay, yeah. So I will share all the details in the description. Please go through it. Okay, bye bye.